Before we jump into it, shout out to 𝘆𝗚𝗏 on Twitter for using my code on 𝗵𝗡𝗔𝗡. It goes a long way to support the channel, so if you're interested, check the link in the description. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here in Season of the Lost. Season of Plunder. Definitely feels like Lost because today we're going to be going back in time and talking about the 30th anniversary update. Why is that, you might ask? Well, Bungie decided to give 𝗿𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 a bit of a facelift by making all of the 𝗿𝗏's weapons craftable, as well as giving each and every one of the weapons a new perk pool. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about these new perk pools, going over everything that was changed on each weapon, and talking about what new god rolls you might want on some of your old favorites. If that sounds interesting to you and you want more videos just like this one, liking the video and subscribing if you're new definitely helps out a lot and ensures that I'll be around for all of your Destiny PvE needs. Without further ado though, let's jump into this. Before talking about the perk pools, I want to go over how to farm these weapons first, as ever since the Epic Games collab with Destiny, there's a ton of new players that might not know how to go about getting the loot in today's video. I'm going to have timestamps on this video like always though, leading to the actual weapon reviews, so if you already know this information, you can use those now. So basically, 𝗿𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 boils down to two central currencies when it comes to getting its weapons. Treasure keys, which you get from completing rounds of dares, being lucky enough to have a loot ogre spawn in the second encounter, as well as getting bonus keys from RNG lightning rounds after killing the final boss. The other currency alongside keys is of course strange coins. With strange coins, you're able to buy bounties from Star Horse, which can drop paraversal hauls, as well as just purchase paraversal hauls outright. These are important because these hauls can drop anywhere between 1 and 3 keys at a time, so they're a nice thing to be hoarding in the background to maximize your profit. Once you're stocked up on keys, go to Xur's treasure hoard and buy the central chest until your heart's content. Do note though that if you're farming dares and you're a bit of a higher end player, try to gather a group to run back-to-back clears of the legend difficulty, as this will increase both your chances of the loot ogre in the second encounter, as well as increase your chances of a lightning round at the end. Now that you know how to farm these weapons out, let's go on and take a look at them one by one. Kicking things off like always, we're going to start with the best weapon in today's video, and that is going to be the Halo Battle Rifle 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏. This is by far the best weapon in today's video because of the changes they've made to it, and because of that, I've been busting my ass to get red borders so that I can craft it, but to no avail. Like seriously, I got a red box other half before I got my 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏, and I'm very upset about it. Anyways, let's talk new perks. First up, the new origin trait, which will be present on all of the 𝗿𝗏's weapons. This here is known as Hot Swap, which seems to be predominantly a PvP origin trait, which states that taking damage essentially just boosts your handling stat by a strong amount, but that swords will have an increase to their charge speed and guard resistance, which is nice. Now, taking a look at the first column perks for the 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏, Bungie took away both auto-loading holster and snapshot sights and replaced them with pugilist as well as heating up. And in the second column, Bungie took away rangefinder and surprisingly adrenaline junkie for some reason, and replaced those two with gut shot and incandescent. When it comes to my recommended role here, you already know I'm going to recommend either demo or pugilist combined with incandescent. The added ability energy to either your melee or grenade combined with peak ad clear and dot damage is absolutely uncontested, and everybody should be shooting for this role. If you're crafting this weapon, incandescent is the only perk worth enhancing if you're low on materials, as it allows you to apply more scorch tax, which increases your damage by a ton, unlike the other perks that are only going to get minor % increases. Before the update, my previous god roll that I rocked all the time was 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏, but unfortunately 𝗵𝗏 cannot proc 𝗃𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 with its reload, which makes the upgrade to incandescent quite massive. Not having adrenaline junkie anymore is extremely odd as well, making that final column option pretty much exclusively incandescent. I'm not complaining though, even without last season's artifact mods, that perk is still an absolute powerhouse, especially when enhanced, so I highly recommend grinding out a 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃 ASAP. Up next from the 𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃, we have a weapon that's legendary, but thanks to the new update, feels like a baby exotic, and that is the Retraced Path, aka Halo Reach's focus rifle. I'll say this for sure, never have I ever considered using a legendary trace inside PvE all that much, until now. Taking a look at the perks, Bungie removed both Genesis and Shoot to Loot in the first column and replaced them with well-rounded and adapted munitions, with the second column now missing Disruption Break and Harmony, but getting Focus Fury and Incandescent as a result. When it comes to crafting this weapon, go for both enhanced subsistence as well as enhanced incandescent and thank me later. Subsistence, just like incandescent, is one of the few enhanced perks that actually feels like it makes a difference, as it upgrades the roughly 10 to 17% reload on a kill to around a steady 25%. This combined with incandescent is just going to ensure that you're constantly feeding your weapon with extra reserves to make reloading a worry of the past and to truly just kind of build into what the focus rifle was in Halo Reach. If you're a trace rifle hater in PvE, I highly recommend giving the Retraced path another go, because the god roll we just talked about is going to make this thing feel like its own exotic weapon. Moving on from Retraced path, let's talk about the energy swords, starting with the more practical one, Half-Truths. This weapon went from being a poor man's eager edge sword to actually being quite the powerhouse for ARC 3.0 builds. Taking a look at the perks, Half-Truths lost both Thresh and Harmony, with those perks being replaced by Unrelenting and Chain Reaction, which is the exact role you're going to want. The enhanced versions of these perks give extra handling as well as some extra reserves, but it's not that noticeable and overall not worth it if you're low on material. However, these perks on their own absolutely stand together, making Half-Truths a fantastic option for a CQB build with ARC 3.0 that'll keep you alive and exploding ads for days. Going over to its purple friend here though, the other half, this weapon lost energy transfer and surrounded to then receive flash counter as well as repulsor brace. Pretty much just ignore the new perks and just craft something along the lines of enhanced eager edge, since it's going to increase the duration you have to proc the perk, as well as frenzy, which might be worth enhancing since it increases how long you keep the buff. This weapon, unlike Half-Truths though, doesn't have much practical use outside of movement tech, so I just use this as your eager edge choice, with its blue brother being more combat oriented. Finally, moving on to weapons that don't come from Halo, and I forgot where this one came from, here we have the Pardon Our Dust. This kinetic GL didn't really change much with the update, so if you already have a god roll, it's not really worth chasing a new version, let alone crafting one with enhanced perks. Pardon Our Dust lost Pulse Monitor and Ensemble in the first column to have them replaced with Steady Hands and Stats for All, with the second column losing Danger Zone and Wellspring, but gaining Pugilist and Turnabout. This literally makes the least amount of sense possible because two of those perks are absolutely useless right out of the gate. Steady Hands is completely useless because of the new origin trait ensuring you have max handling all the time anyways, and Turnabout because this weapon is kinetic, making the usability of that perk just plummet immediately. Anyways, the role that was always best tier has been blinding nades with autoloading, paired with Demo, Vorpal, or maybe now Pugilist if you like. Nothing here is really worth enhancing unless you have some excess mats and would like to flex on your peers. And finally, to end things off for the video, we have ourselves the Wastelander M5 shotgun, and similar to Pardon Our Dust, nothing too crazy has changed here, although you may want some enhanced perks for your current god roll. What changed here in the first column was Ensemble and Dual Loader being removed, and Air Assault and Pugilist taking their place, with the second column losing Harmony and Adagio, and Fragile Focus and Vorpal taking their place. When it comes to the god roll, I'd probably go with enhanced lead from gold and enhanced 1-2 punch here. Lead from gold being enhanced will give you the equivalent of 2 ammo bricks when picking up ammo, and 1-2 punch will require less pellets to proc, which might be worth it just depending on your distance when you're playing with it. Outside of that though, Wastelander hasn't really had much of a use aside from 1-2 punch, making this weapon the least interesting out of all the ones featured in this video. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for today's video. Today we covered all the perk changes made with Season of Plunder to the Dare's weapons, went over how to farm them out, and talked about the new god rolls and enhanced perks that were worth your time. I hope you all enjoyed today's video as much as I did making it, and a huge thanks to everyone that watched the video until this point, as it feeds the starving YouTube algorithm, so I really appreciate it. As always, shout out to my Patreon supporters that you can see on screen here, with special thanks to my tier 2s being Onrock, Admus, Vile, John, and Homebase Serenity, as well as my tier 3s Austin, Cinco, and Galumia. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.